Did you break a belt? Or is it stretched and keeps coming off? You shouldn't have to wait for a repair shop. I'll show you how to replace your snowblower belts step by step. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB. If you have an Ariens Deluxe or any other similar style snowblower, these instructions will help you out. Let's swap them. First step, disconnect the spark plug. You may be pulling on the recoil from time to time, so you definitely don't want your motor starting. Next, we're gonna remove the belt cover, and there's a 3/8 bolt on each side. Just loosen them up. Off comes our cover. Next, come up here to the cover attaching to your chute. Take that cover off with a 3/8 socket. And help this video take off with the YouTube algorithm, would you mind hitting that like button? Thank you very much. Next, this pin attaching to your chute crank needs to come out. I'm gonna get some pliers on this bad boy and just press it out. There it is. And some needle nose pliers and just pry it the rest of the way. There it is. Now, just to get this out of the way, we're gonna push our crank back, pop it out to the side, and then slide it right out. Now, let's follow this deflector cable all the way down to this JB clamp right here. J clamp, JB clamp. You see what I did there? We're gonna open this clamp up a little bit, slide the cable right out. Following that cable back, I'm gonna slide that out. I also have this wire here. I'm gonna disconnect that as well. Now that deflector cable that I just disconnected comes all the way up, right up to here. I've slid this rubber boot back. I'm gonna take some pliers and remove this pin, and then take off this bushing, and then slide off this cable. I'm then gonna take some pliers and then pinch this cable together right here, slide it down, and then out. Now, if you have any additional linkages, like I do here for this auger housing light, which I'll have an install video linked down below in the description for you to check out, you wanna make sure that you disconnect these cables so that things don't come apart as you split the unit apart later. So I'm gonna follow that wire. It loops all the way around this engine. I'm gonna disconnect these wire connections right here, and then slide the cable out of the J-hook. All now disconnected. Now, back to the belts. This bracket that extends over the belt pulley, this is known as your belt finger. It's held on by these two bolts right here. We're gonna take them out. These are 1/2-inch bolts. Don't lose all your washers here. And off comes your belt finger bracket. Now this here is your auger belt pulley tensioner. You're gonna need a 9/16 wrench. You're gonna slip that on and loosen it up. Just give it a few turns. That's all it needs. Then you want to slide this pulley back as far as it will go. This will give you some more clearance room for the belts. For this next part, you're going to want some gloves on to prevent your fingers from getting pinched or cut. What you're going to do here is pull the recoil and slowly and gently work the belts off of the pulley shaft. That's one. Work number 2 off. And good. They're off. Now, just like that half cheese, half pepperoni pizza that you ordered, we're gonna split this snowblower in half. It's a really good idea to put some kind of table or stool behind the handlebar portion of the snowblower because this will fall backwards. You want something there to support it. I'm gonna use my lift table here. This thing is incredibly handy. I also put some cod bad down here in the front so that way the front end of the snowblower has something to roll onto. Now check this out. We have one 9/16 bolt right here and one right here holding these two units together. Get this one out of the way first. Out she comes. Then I'm gonna come over here to this side and loosen this one up. You can see the unit already wants to split itself in half. There we go. Second bolt is out. Now you're gonna wanna carefully drop this unit down. The handlebars have already landed themselves on the lift table. And then from here, I'm gonna drop the front of the bucket down, watching all my cables and everything, grabbing my belts and tip it down. Perfect. How often do you get to do this, huh? Not too often. From here, what we're gonna do is take some vice grips and grab onto this spring right here and disconnect it from our traction drive idle pulley. Grab onto it firmly, unhook it, and disconnect it just like so. Unhooking this will give you more room to get your belt off. Now coming around here to the back, this is your traction drive cable. I'm gonna take a 3/8 wrench and loosen up this jam nut here on the bottom. Then I'm gonna take some pliers and grab onto this thread tube and loosen everything up. I'm gonna thread the nut down a little bit, thread the tube up, and this will help make some slack here in the cable. We'll make final adjustments here later. We'll also check the auger cable as well later. Do you see this bolt right here underneath this spring? That's called your stop bolt. This stops your drive pulley from swinging too far forward. On the driver's side here of the transmission with a 3/8 socket, take it out. Fair warning, this bolt takes forever because it's so stupid long. There's not much working room behind this tire. Got it, almost, almost. There it is, finally. From here, we're gonna move the traction drive idler pulley away from the belt, get your gloves back on, and then from here, just like before, we're gonna pull on the recoil and turn the drive shaft to work the belt off of the pulley. And now from here, what I'm going to do is slip it down around the crankshaft. Now down right there is your friction disc, and I'm gonna slip that belt between the friction disc and the drive plate and just pull it on up. Coming with me, pal. There we go. Now I'll have the drive belt as well as the auger belts linked down below in the description, but if you need them in a hurry, you can always take your old belts over to a repair shop or even a hardware store that sells belts, and they should be able to measure them up and get you a set quick. Now it's time to reverse the process. Here is my old drive belt and here's my new one. Let's get the new one on. From here, I'm gonna hook the new drive belt over the crankshaft. And then from here, I'm going to wedge this belt down between the friction disc and the drive plate. And if I pull back on this drive plate, that might give me just a little bit more wiggle room. I'm just gonna get my fingers down in there. Go, baby, go. That's it, through. Good. Place the belt here on the outer end of the shaft and then work it on later, or you can just get it right into the slot now. And then I'm gonna reach under, grab my belt, line it up into this channel, and then start working it around. Now if I start on this side, get the belt into that channel and then reach underneath and then turn it, twist it a little bit, and almost, and she's in. If you slide the drive pulley side to side like this just a little bit, you'll be able to get it in from either side. Now that the new drive belt is back in place, what I'm going to do is push back on my drive pulley and reinsert my stop bolt here on the driver's side. Thread it in, and then start the long process of twisting it back in.
2 hours later.
Now let's get the socket on it. All right. That's gotta be the most annoying part of that whole process. Now we're gonna reconnect our traction drive idle spring, and again, some locking pliers will come in real handy here. I'm gonna grab it just off to the right side, that way I can hook it and pull it right into that slot. And got it, open it up. Good. All is looking good there. Now these units have 2 auger belts, and I always recommend that when you're replacing these, you replace both brand new belts. Even if you just broke one, replace them both, because over time what can happen is these belts stretch out. You don't want to have one loose belt and then one tight belt. You want it equally tight. Now up here, it's time to remove the auger belts, and these should come right off. Now if these metal panels on the sides are a little tight to this pulley, you may have to wiggle them out a little bit, but they should come out. Now is also a really good time to get in here and clean up any dirt and debris that might be around these pulleys. I'm not going to spray anything on the pulleys. I'm just going to spray a rag with some WD-40, just a light amount, and just kind of clean and wipe up this whole area really fast. That looks a lot better. And then from here, just take a dry paper towel and wipe it clean. I'm gonna hit these little hooks here with some fluid film because they don't usually get much love and they do start to rust. Again, keep your pulleys clean, don't get anything on them. Now from here, I'm gonna slide on my new belts, the bottom one first, just like so in that lower channel, and then the top one in the top channel. Perfect. Then from here, what I'm gonna do is take these belts, pull them tight around the pulleys, and then reach my hand underneath the bucket, tip it back, and start guiding these hooks at the bottom into the bar at the bottom of the transmission housing. Pull it toward me a little bit. That should do. Still holding on to those belts. Good. We stuck the landing. Nice. Now I'm just gonna pull back here on the auger housing and stick in my first bolt and twist it in by hand. Same thing here on the other side, place the bolt in and just thread it in by hand first. Now we're just gonna tighten them on down. And this side, tighten it down. Now there may be torque specs for these bolts out there, but I couldn't find any in the manual. In my experience, hand tightening these down with a socket will be just fine. Now from here, the process is pretty much the same as trying to get the belts off. We're going to work the belts on now. I'm gonna start with the rear belt and I'm going to place it over the pulley and I'm going to pull on the recoil to work the belt into the pulley. Boom, there's one. And now we're just gonna work it up and onto the back pulley slot, and good. Use that recoil to your advantage. And same thing here, this one might just pop right on. Well, that's pretty close. And see, that's why you wear gloves. Let go, there we go. Good, we are on. Belts line up inside the pulley below and on the crankshaft on the top. We're good. Now I'm gonna reset my auger belt tensioner all the way back to this end and tighten it down with a 9/16 wrench. Good. She spins freely. From here, we're gonna reconnect our deflector cable into this JB hook right here, and then this JB hook at the bottom of the engine. Now take the cable, pull it out, slide the wire into the slot, and then push the end of the cable in so the tabs spread out. Then take the cable and hook it onto our tab here. Push your rubber boot back down. Take your bushing, put that over the end, and then stick in your cotter pin. Done. And then from here, if you have an accessory wire, get that back into place. Bring that cable around and reconnect those if you need to. And then insert that cable into the JB hook at the bottom. We're gonna reinstall our chute crank, sliding it all the way in toward the dash first, and then pushing it into the chute here on the end. Perfect. And from here, take your pin. We're gonna line up the holes on the crank and on the end, and then drop that into place. Give it a little love tap. Good. She spins, baby. Now we're gonna come to the back and remove any slack in our traction drive cable. We're just gonna thread this tube bolt down. That looks pretty good. And then thread up our jam nut. And from here, grab some pliers, wrap it around, get a 3/8 wrench on that jam nut, and tighten it down. Good. That'll do. You don't want to get this cable super tight, just enough to get the slack out. Same thing here on the auger cable on the back. You can see that we have a lot of slack, so we're just gonna thread this tube bolt down, remove some of that slack, and then take our jam nut and make its way up to it. Grab it with some pliers and tighten up that jam nut with a wrench. That'll do. And you can see here that as I push down on the auger lever, the belts tighten up perfectly around that pulley on the crankshaft. Same thing with the belt pulley, the drive plate moves forward toward the friction disc. Now back to the belts, we're going to reinstall the belt finger. I like to thread these bolts in by hand. Bolts are now in, and tighten them down. Now the manual says that the belt should be about 1/8 away from the belt finger. These belts are new, so they're kind of springing up. We look good though. Reinstall your belt cover. She's on. And from here, tighten them back down. And don't forget to come back up on top and place your shoe cover back in its position. Last but not least, reconnect your spark plug. We are done. Those belts are now on, so if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go fire it up. Now I purposely took the belt cover off so that way you can see all that's happening with the new belt. Take a look here, that drive belt is already spinning, that's good. Now let's engage the augers. Looking good there. Those babies are flying. Augers are spinning good. Belts are spinning perfectly. All right, let's test out that drive belt. Working perfectly. Excellent. Now here's a few tips and tricks to help you out with this procedure. Once you have the new belts on and everything is adjusted correctly, your snowblower should shoot snow really well. If not, check your auger belt tensioner and your cables in the back to remove any unneeded slack. And don't be that person that sends their belt tensioner all the way in and tightens it down. This could prematurely tear your belts. Over time, the belts will stretch. Check that tensioner at least once a season and the belts for any excess play. Belts. I've had really good luck over the years with OEM belts and Gates belts. And if one or more of your belts are in good shape, save them. Just in case a current one rips during a snowstorm, you got a backup. I also like to label mine so that way I know what machine they came off of and what belt it is. Now here's what grinds my gears with this whole process. That's a lot of steps. Yeah, more than a Fitbit on leg day. But besides a socket set and some pliers, you don't really need any fancy tools. And the whole process takes about 20 to 30 minutes to complete. Stupid stop bolt taking forever. A second set of hands may be helpful when you're repositioning that bucket and the transmission housing back together. Did you break a belt? Have one slide off? Or are you doing this as preventative maintenance? Let me know down below in the comments. And don't forget to check out my full snowblower rust proofing course, linked down below, to help make your snowblower last a lifetime. If you want to be part of the tribe, subscribe. And for more cool garage gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.